Hey, I'm Allison, and I go to the Boundary Valley School, and I'm taking this cool, awesome class called From, and basically we're studying relationships and stuff like that. So this week we talked about the mandala, and I'm going to read to you from this cool packet that we got. Let's see. Holding vastly more depth than mere punch, kick, and grapple, scrambling against an enemy. As Keisumi and Dojo ninja martial arts make up an approach to understanding and successfully dealing with all levels of conflict in life. The system taught by Stephen K. Hayes is an ever-unfolding exposition of knowledge that reflects a five-phased realization of what is true of life for human being. This five-phased approach is transmitted to students by way of a series of five elemental codes for possible emotional, physical responses to aggression. The five elements include earth, water, fire, wind, and a formless potential often referred to as void. As a teaching device, these five elements are arranged on a mandala mental map in a distinctive pattern of five interconnected regions or realms. The mandala is then a four-directional grid of five supreme archetypes, characters that represent the keys to breaking through from a crude struggle to awakened living. These five realms are arranged three across and three up and down, with the center figure holding the same position vertically as well as horizontally. These five center figures and their symbolic elements each represent a distinct and particular coming together of archetype potentials, psychological aspects, physical characteristics of life, views on life, temperaments, inner values, roots of potential, and transformations of limitations into awakened powers. So it's really cool because you have the potential to be any one of these different things. So it's really cool that you don't have to be just one thing. You can be part of many things, and that you as a human being, just because you're a human, have the potential to be so much. So that's really cool. So there are five kinds of living life-driving tendencies. Each of the five assemblies have been given a name as a label for identifying and differentiating it from others. Each of the five leads to a particular aspect of wisdom when working under the influence of studying and training. Each of these five aspects of wisdom in turn provides a way inward and upward to supreme ultimate wisdom in its fully developed state. Each of the ways of centeredness is a unique route to the cultivation of ultimate truth wisdom. Like a towering mountain peak that is to be climbed, we can follow one of several paths to the top. Although all the paths do lead to the top in their own way, if we wish to complete the climb and experience the ultimate view, we must choose one path and follow it all the way. It's not possible to gain the summit by spending a little time on one, then backing up the slope and spending time poking around all the other ones. To compare the mountain to the mandala, there are paths to the top that begin in the rolling terrain of the eastern, western, southern, and northern foothills. It is also possible to charter a helicopter and be lowered in from the very center of the summit. Much of the lore of the ninjas Mikyo, or the secret doctrines, lead to the discovery of highest truth, can be seen to correspond to modern psychology, particularly the finding in Maslow, McKellen, and Rogers. The Nippo-Maiko description of personality and motivation is extremely useful and realistic tool for describing archetypal human behavior. The readers with Tao Sufi and Yoga Kalba or diagnostic theories of metaphysics will recognize that these roots are cross-cultural, that the subtle measures will even reveal biological implications. The point of this article is to describe the underlying psychology and philosophy of the five-element mandala and the scientific westernized vocabulary while preserving the flavor of wisdom of the secret doctrines. In 1943, the psychologist Abraham Maslow published a theory of motivation, now popularly known as the hierarchy of needs. He positioned that any human being's behavior could be seen as a response from several motives tied to five general progressing categories of needs. 1. Physiological survival. 2. Safety and security. 3. Love and affection. 4. Self-esteem. 5. Self-actualization. Asian esoteric hierarchy is described as the Kagani diamond realm mandala, of the Japanese Shigon and Tendia traditions is both similar to Maslow's hierarchy and yet different. The Myoko concepts of earth, stability, water, knowledge, fire connection, wind, free movement, and void, fulfillment. They can be seen as a hierarchical from one view, while being seen as complementary from another view. Each can be unique and singular influence, and yet more often shows up in a mixture of transition between state above or below and the hierarchy. The 5 elements can also be seen as a continuum from dark to light. Dark indicates self-isolating, and light indicating self-expanding. So I think this whole concept is really, really cool. And so basically there's these 5 ways to respond to aggression, and these 5 ways of living, which is earth, fire, void, water, and wind. And so earth, all of them, I guess, have these positive and negative sides to them. And what's really, really cool is that if you're the negative, you're really a half step away from the positive. But if you're positive, you're a half step away from the negative. So it also plays back on that. So if earth, so you're positively you're a commander, but negatively you could be seen as a controller. But so I guess what's really, really cool about this kind of religion and thinking and practice is that you don't have to be something you're not. If you're Darth Vader, there's no way you're going to be Mother Teresa. But here, there's all these different kinds of people, and all these different kinds of people have a way that they can be positive and have a way just for them to reach enlightenment and reach self-actualization and reach the top. So that's really cool, because it's really, really hard to jump across the mandala and be something that you're not. And here, they're not asking you to do that. So that's really cool, because I find in most religions, there's only one way to get it done. And there's only one way to do it, and even if that's not a way that's going to work for you, it doesn't matter, because that's the way it's done. Here, it's really personalized, and it's really cool. So thanks for listening.